What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to Middle Texas. I found that if I add, I was thinking about this before I started the episode, if you add middle to anything, Middle California, Middle France, Middle England, Middle Russia, it doesn't matter what you add middle to, it makes it sound more epic. Be like, we will quest through Middle Japan. It makes it sound way more awesome. It makes it sound like you're off on a quest to Middle Earth. I think that's what it is. I think it's the association with Middle Earth. Now, the last time we had come to this map, I seem to remember there being a lot of bad guys here who really wanted to hurt us. So, not knowing what their numbers are looking like, we've got one right there with what looks like a 357. Oh, hell. It got the first turn, too. Damn, this is gonna hurt. Okay, so what we need to do right now, we have Victor. What I need Victor to do is... Yep, we're gonna have to plug this guy a couple times. We have no choice. This guy requires to be shot. Oh, man, we don't have enough AP to go again? Oh, no. Oh, so we got him for 38 damage. But dude with shotgun is coming up and he gets second turn, so that's gonna kind of suck. I suppose what we'll do is we'll race in on this one, and we just got to get rid of this character right this second. So we did 11 points of damage right there, but not much else. She's still got a little bit of time left. We do have res kits with us in case we need them, but I would prefer... That's a 50-50 shot. I don't like 50-50 shots. Then again... Ew. Okay, so let's go right to there. Take the shot. Oh, he got him. Very good. Okay, so that's at least something to work with at the bare minimum. I could attempt to knock this character down using the shield. I don't know who this character is going to shoot at. This could get a little weird. Oh, good. It shot the person that I wanted it to shoot. I mean, I don't want anybody to get shot, but if somebody has to get shot, somebody has to get shot. That's just kind of how life goes sometimes. I would say that a good idea right now would be to finish off Mr. 357, and then what we need to do is pull back behind cover. We are going to make some zombie friends. Like, I hate to say that, but it's going to happen. Like, zombies are totally coming, and we're just going to have to deal with that problem when it happens, because we've got a major shootout going right now. And there is nothing we can do about it. Now, on the plus side, this guy has very low cutting damage, which is good. I'm sorry, very low cutting resistance. His damage is probably fairly impressive, to be honest. So I have to, let's see here. 1, that's 2, 3, 4. I can get to there. Or I can go 2-4, but I'll be behind the pole. 1, 2, 4. Let's try that. And just hope. There we go. So we might be able to finish him off on the next turn. That's my most ardent hope. I'm hoping many things right now. That he will just spontaneously choke on his spit and fall over dead. I don't count on these things to happen as part of my strategy. But if they do, I wouldn't cry. So we could do a flurry for 5. But considering our attack chance is 80%, I'll probably just go straight after him. Let's finish off these bodies. It looks like we do indeed have zombies coming in. What I need to do is let's finish these bodies real fast. These have got to go. We got a guy with a Glock over there, although the Glock is not really that huge of a problem. What I'm going to have him do is reload the 38 shells right there. Awesome. I mean, he's not reloading 38 shells. He's reloading 4 38 shells. So if he had a gun with 38 bullets, and I'd be like, damn, and we'd be dropping the LMG on these people. But for right now, let's line up for the fisticuffs. We know there's going to be a fight right here, so we might as well just kind of let it happen, I guess. I don't really need to use a gun in order to get these guys down. I mean, he can do a little bit of damage, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. It depends if there's more than one of them. If more people come running, then yes, we have a problem. But up until I know that to be the case, I'm not going to stress about it. We're all up in his business right there. Unfortunately, he stopped just right at the sweet spot to keep us from being able to get into a combat effective region with him. I would rather play in a game of Would You Rather right now. Elaine can take it. I mean, they've got armor. He's going to shoot with the 38 or whatever it is he's got right now. Yeah, it's not going to be killing damage. It'll be damage, but it's not killing damage, which is all that I'm worried about. So, for example, the comparison that I would draw between the two, killing damage would be what I was worried about when it came time for the 357 to fire or the shotgun to fire. That's a concern. Ooh, Bud's attack finds a weak spot in the Coyote Scout's armor, dealing 64 points of damage. Big ol' hit right there. I like how it's like, whoa. It's got like a certain like surfer vibe to it, I guess, when he delivers the blow. What? It keeps sticking. I think the zombies know. Oh, never mind. Our noise is back down. Well, I feel better already. Let's go for a flurry. I like gambling like that. I don't know why. I love gambling on flurries. It makes me happy when they go off. There we go. So we got another foe down. My suggestion right now would be to vacate the area first. He feels woozy. You should feel dead. That's, I mean, feeling woozy is pretty good considering how many stabs you just took to the face. We're also missing a bunch of... Oh, God. Okay, so I got to go back through my inventory real fast and figure out... Okay, not everybody's overweight. It's just him. I'm excited about getting enough 357s to actually be combat effective. I think I unequipped his hammer, strangely enough. I don't know why I did that, but it appears as though I did make that executive decision at some point. I think we only have to deal with zombies from here on in, though, so maybe I'll just get a bat out and we'll just make this whole thing work. Especially since he can go with just like the 3 AP, I think. I think he's actually going to be a fairly good... He's not going to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but he might be... I don't know, what's a name that starts with Z? Zoltan? I know, Zoltan the Zombie Slayer. It's hard to be alliterative with the letter Z. It's very, very difficult without invoking zippers. And that's pretty much it. Or, you know, words that don't even start. Does it still count as... So, this is a question for the English people out there. Does it still count as alliteration if it's just alliteration to your ear? I don't need any more leather jackets. I don't... Well, I mean... You never know. I'd rather just bring along all the good stuff, and then we can modify it later on as soon as we get a mechanic, which is my big problem right now, is that we never have a mechanic. I'll probably try and take the remainder of this stuff then. Just pile that all into his inventory. There we go. So with 90 pounds, he should be full right now. That brings us back to Victor. And so Victor will come over here. But anyways, as I was saying, English majors, I have a question for you. I don't think I need the sledgehammer, to be honest. I think we have more than enough sledgies. I'm starting to become discerning about the weapons that I put in my inventory. Does it still count as alliteration if you have, like, xylophone, which has a Z sound in it, obviously. Xylophone totally has a Z sound in it. But it doesn't start with a Z. So if I'm like xylophone, zippers, Zoltan, I would say that like zippers and Zoltan, we know those are alliterative, right? But does the xylophone count too? Is it based on the phonetic sound, or is it based on the letter at the beginning of the word, I guess? Why is my loot not showing? That's concerning. There we go. I want my loot to show. Ooh, we got some gasoline. All right, well, let's get... Yeah, you grab the gasoline right there. That seems pretty good. The soda machine is also ready to be looted, so I would grab that as well. These doors are locked. What's left on some of these guys? I thought that said dog pooed for a second. I was like, oh, why would you can that? That seems like a big mistake in the... You know, sometimes a business has a really good idea, but sometimes a business has a really bad idea. And I think I'm going to go for the bad idea on this one. The hardware van. Oh, yeah. I always wanted to make like a brand of clothing that's like work clothing. It's called hardware, but the wear is spelled like you're wearing some clothes. And then, I mean, either way, that seems like maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a little too afflicted. I always rip on afflicted as a clothing brand. Let's go back over here. I don't know why. I don't own any afflicted stuff, but still. It's an easy target to shoot at. Like, you know that guy at the club with the affliction shirt? I don't know if you guys have ever seen Joe Rogan. He roasts a guy really. If you've never watched Joe Rogan deal with a heckler, you really should. Like, he's basically the master of just destroying hecklers. It's pretty hilarious. You should really get on that and Google it. I mean, he's pretty mean about it, but at the same time, hecklers are kind of mean, so who cares? It looks like I think they reused the model for the diner a few times and then just like slapped a different name on the side, maybe. I'm not trying to be a dick right now. I'm just saying this looks very, very familiar to some of the other places I've been. Let's go ahead and grab... Is that a Molotov right there? Oh, shit. That's amazing. Suddenly I am filled with hope and excitement about the world. I don't know how much more stuff we're going to be able to... Grab the ATM! No. Not useful anymore. Not useful. I wish that money was still useful. I would have... Oh, we're moonwalking again. Hooray! Invoking our inner Michael Jackson. There we go. All you got to do to reset is you just have him stop walking and eventually it'll fix it. I actually feel like this location may not be... I mean, you've got this weird little baseball diamond over here that we've got to deal with, but let's check the buildings first, I guess. I should probably have people reload while we're not in combat, considering I always seem to forget to do that. I'll set that as active. Actually, 5 AP. Set that if you're... Okay, I think it'll be alright. We do need to heal people too, so let's heal... Bud's looking okay. I think Vic could use it, though. I may try and heal Twiddle Time pretty soon, but for now I'm going to sit on it. Because, I'm feeling kind of lazy right now. I had just, like, the weirdest thing last night. I didn't fall asleep till, like, 6 a.m. I just, like, laid in bed. And it was weird, like it was drifting in and out of consciousness, such to the point my brain has started to do this really cruel thing too. That's the really funny part, is my brain has started to mess with me. And so now I've started to have dreams about like my bedroom, for example. Like I have dreams about laying in my bedroom trying to fall asleep. And so now it's just utterly impossible for me to figure out if I'm awake or asleep anymore, which is just like, I figured I'd bring it up because it's a weird phenomenon that I've never had to deal with before. Like essentially I'm a really light sleeper. I don't sleep a whole lot. Like I have a very, very active mind, as you may have guessed by how quickly I can talk and like monologue, etc. My brain is always buzzing at 1,000,000 miles per second. Are those ranch? Oh, I thought that said ranch for a second. It says ramen. I was going to say ranch ramen, huh? That's an interesting ramen flavor. I don't think I've ever run into ranch flavored ramen before. It seems like that one would be a little bit of a gamble. I'd probably go for it because I've yet to... Oh, shit. I just shot the door open. I mean, that's pretty badass. That's... Whoa, what just happened here? Oh, no. Something bad just happened. I don't know, my frame rate just said to hell with you. Oh, shit. There are hella zombies coming around. Alright, so let's go ahead and just, like, hang out over here, maybe. Let's turn around real fast. It appears as though the game is trying to prove me wrong. How many Zeds are over here? Several. Enough to be troublesome. 3. Okay, well, I think I can nail a couple of them if I can get in here first. Why are you guys running over there? I clicked over here. It's very, very strange that you all chose to do that, considering I clicked like 4 times on that zombie and then you all ran over here for some reason. I am really, really confused about what just happened. It's odd. I clicked to initiate combat, but they like started glitching through each other and being all odd, and now we've got that bug where if you share a square with somebody... Oh good, he's gonna go around that way too. Awesome! I'm so happy with the decisions that are being made right now on the part of the AI. So why can't you attack any of these? Alright, everybody fall back for a second. These are bugged out beyond all repair right now. I'll probably go after these just to see if we can get some damage off. But until these unglitch out of each other, there's no way for us to accomplish anything. I think there's 2 of them glitched in right there too. It wouldn't let me attack, so... Lots and lots of bugs in this game. A lot related to combat too. Occasionally you just get weird stuff that happened right there where I clicked to start combat on the zombie. They ran off to the side. The zombies bugged into each other's squares after that so that they can't be attacked, but neither can they attack. You end up in a lot of weird situations in this game. A lot of weird situations. Once again, my recommendation is that if bugs bother you, this game will probably make you pull out your hair. I like it just because it's zombies, and I'm a giant whore for anything that's, you know, zombie related, so I'm having a good time, but be aware. Things like this will happen almost, I mean, the thing is, I have trouble thinking of an episode where I haven't had to deal with some kind of like, oh shit, that was my fault right there, I accidentally, what was that? That was weird. This zombie is existing in some weird, like, black cat plane of existence where it can just, like, glitch through things or something, I don't know. The zombie has definitely discovered a new skill set. He has tapped into his final tier of powers. Alright, so let's get Bud to right there. It's always good to have a Bud on point. I grew up next to the Budweiser factory. I like Budweiser. I'm not an elitist when it comes to beer. If it is an inebriant, I will probably drink it. That's pretty much the only stipulation. Is it an inebriant? Yes? Then enter it into my glass. Preferably one of those frosty ones that you leave up in your fridge. Like, do you guys ever do that where you put a beer mug or like a beer stein up in your freezer and you let it get all frosty? You have to be careful about that sometimes though, because I poured like a lukewarm beer into it one time. Like, it was the same temperature as the room, and essentially it exploded the glass. I knew that that was a possibility, but I really, really wanted to do it anyways, and then, you know, perfectly good waste of an awesome glass that I liked. So, mistakes were made. It looks like this is a video store. Oh, it's a game store. Okay, so there's magazines. We got a D&D book. Oh, good. Fantastic. Back in the day when I was growing up, there was like this, it's still there, but it's converted entirely into a tabletop store now. But when I was a kid, well, not a kid, I guess, a teenager, I suppose that, I think she's not full up. Let's have her take a look around. Yeah, that's what I figured. She's not full up. But anyways, when I was a kid, there was a game store in my town that sold video games it had a bunch of consoles in the corner. Like, I get what they were trying to do. From a business standpoint, it would have never worked. But basically, I talked to the business owner, like, when he did it, and he said he basically wanted to make a store where poor kids could go who didn't have, like, you know, game consoles or anything else. Like, they didn't have access to game consoles, where they could come in and they could just, like, play games on his consoles that he just had in his store, and you were able to just, like, hang out there if you wanted to. And it would be like, on top of that, it was like a safe place for kids to hang out so that they wouldn't be out like running around getting into trouble. And then on top of that, he sold a lot of tabletop stuff, but eventually it went out of business because while the business model is altruistic and I do admire it, obviously probably not sustainable. It's weird. Altruism and running a business very, very rarely overlap. It's difficult to get them to do so. I don't think that I need most of this stuff. Like, just those. Oh, how much does the guitar weigh? That's a heavy guitar. A 10-pound guitar? Wow. That's a really, really heavy guitar. Can she only hold 50 pounds? I thought she could hold 60. Okay, so maybe I'm clicking the wrong button. I have the tendency to do this. There we go. I gotta get you as close to 60 as possible. So the guitar and the sewing machine weighs 15 pounds, too. That's a big sewing machine. It must be one of the ones from, like, the 60s when they built everything out of iron and steel back then. They were like, we don't know what to make this out of, boss. What should we make it out of? Steel. Ooh, some cleats? Okay. Right now, I'm actually more concerned about picking up parts, though, because I made a mistake in the previous episode, and I did the wrong upgrade. There's a safe over here? Oh, wow. A safe full of gats. Okay, I'll probably just take those. Let me unload. Let me have a look here and see. I know somebody here. Oh, we're totally full up? Everybody's got no room whatsoever? Alright, so we've got... We only brought back 5 parts. Well, we fixed the fence, but we're going to need like 50 parts in order to fix the next one. It's disappointing to me, though. I think we should probably... Do we have 2 pairs of cleats now? Or just the one? We have 1 pair of cleats. It's the riding leathers that are really getting us in trouble because they're so heavy. Everybody else is wearing them, so we're good right there. However, I'll probably have to do a little bit of an equipment swap out once we get out of here. I'll come back. We'll deal with the zombies later. I'm not going to deal with zombies right now. No. Let's have somebody who's here. Tweedle time. You can do it. If you can learn to do it, I can learn to do it. Smack the door with a bat, and you'll go through it. That's not how the song goes. Anastasia. That was a great animated film. I mean, all things considered, people always talk down about children's movies. Like, they'd be like, this movie is so juvenile. I'm like, it's a kid's movie. Durr. Like, come on now. Critical thinking, my movie reviewer friend, critical thinking. It is a kid's movie, so obviously it's going to be juvenile. But my point is, I miss animation, and I miss the fact that nobody does animation anymore except for, like, Cartoon Network. That's pretty much it. I know that Nickelodeon does a little bit anymore, and Cartoon Network does it, but other than that, nobody risks animation anymore because it's so expensive to produce. They outsource a lot of it. That's what most people don't realize, is they go over to, I think they have it done in, what country was it? There's a country where they actually, one of their big things that their country does to make money is they export art. Essentially, like, you can contract the people there to draw your cartoons for you once you have the art style already designed. You can basically have them do the rest of the cartoon, and then you bring it back over here for coloration or whatever, and they do that to save costs. Let's see here. We got 56 food. Not a bad run for food. A lot of luxury items, so hopefully that'll help out. I need to drop off the remainder of our equipment going. We're going to go back out on another run. Don't think of this as the end. Think of this as a little hiatus in the middle where we shall hang out for a little bit. Just chat. Shoot the shit while I throw stuff into this big old dumpster of a room. This room has got to be so disorganized. We got so much stuff in here. Alright, so those will unload themselves. We'll throw the bullets. We got the rifle. We got the arrows. If we could find a crossbow or any other weapon, I'd be pretty stoked, to be honest. We got 2 right there. And I have once again forgotten how to shift it. There we go. I forgot how to split a stack. Don't judge me, it's been a little while. Alright, so we've got that, we've got that. We probably don't need the bullets. We should probably put those somewhere for better distribution to someone else who can use them to a far greater extent than we can. I need to go through and we'll go with Big Vicky. Oh, he had the wood axe. I shouldn't have brought that with me. Alright, well, Big Vicky. We got 6 codeine? Really? Wow, we have so much equipment right now. We are looking really, really good on some of this equipment. I'm going to have him get the remainder of that ammo. We got so much 9mm right now. If we could find ourselves, I mean, it might not be a terrible idea just to give everybody a 9mm at this point. I'll probably keep that. Obviously, we'll throw some of that in there. No, we will not throw that in there. This will stay. That'll go in. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Have him stack up the shoddy shells because he's the only person that's using them. They're not shoddy shells as in they do their job in a shoddy fashion. They're for a shotty. A shottity. Let's go and... I've got cleats around here somewhere. Maybe I haven't unloaded them yet. We have... Vic's been unloaded, and then we had... What's the other girl's name? It's Elaine. There we go. It's been a while. It's been a while. Alright, so we'll throw that in there. The codeine. Let me split the codeine real fast in half. And then we'll use that one right there to refill her med kit. I decided to go through, and in the previous episode, I put like an epinephrine needle on everybody. Just in case, because I started to realize in some of my other playthroughs that every time I don't equip everybody with an epinephrine needle, I end up needing it. And then at that point, I'm just like, shit. So... I find that it's safer just to make sure that everybody has an epinephrine needle. He's got normal shoes. Let's give him the cleats because they have 2 defense instead of 1. I mean, it's a minor upgrade, but it's still kind of cool. I'll put the... Yeah, let's put the Molotov cocktail on Bud. That sounds good. That sounds totally good. Let's get on out of here. And we will check the radio tonight when we get back from this location. But for right now, I'm much more interested in getting back out here and making sure that the remainder of the day is productive. Now, Max is still sitting out here. I have read through your comments that it is possible to like get people that already left by re-recruiting them from here. How that works, I'm not really sure. I don't know where to get a car or a horse from either, but I'm hoping we might be able to find it around here somewhere. So our option is thus. We can go back to the alley in the valley, while we rock our valleys. But anyways, we can go to the alley and we can finish that place off because there are a couple shelves worth of things still remaining. And from there, maybe we can go out to... It's going to be tough to make it. It took us 2 hours to get back over to here. So that'll put us at 1 o'clock. We may be able to get out to the old general store, possibly. We've just about hit everything to the south. I'm actually fairly surprised by how quickly we've gone through a lot of these areas. People have been saying that the series is dragging on. I can understand how watching this series might not be the most entertaining thing ever, just because it's kind of like the same thing over and over again. I keep hoping that there will be a storyline that will unlock somewhere that'll start giving us, like, directive. It'll give us some kind of narrative to work along, but thus far, it all seems to be fairly, like, open free play. I'll probably go with... Let's go to Sansoba. We'll just sort of see what happens over here. And in seeing what we'll see, hopefully Sansoba won't turn out to be troublesome for us. I was trying to find something else to rhyme, but I got nothing. I got nothing right now. My brain is running on empty at the moment. Like, at this point, I'm just like, meh. I'm zombied out. I'm in Z mode at the moment. Alright, so downtown Sansoba. It's looking pretty shot up right now. That guy crashed a car into the building. Let's make sure everybody's reloaded first and foremost. Get the guns ready. Because we don't know if we're going to come across coyotes or what out here. If we come across coyotes, which I feel like a dead biker. So yeah, I feel like we're probably going to come across coyotes out here at some point. Let's just swing wide for right now. I prefer, with the way that I go through these different buildings, I very much prefer to get all the zombies first, then come back for everybody else. I would love to get ourselves some more parts or some more good things. Let me throw a baseball bat on him real quick. He's still carrying 2 bats. I thought I put the two bats. I thought that we would have the bats already taken care of. I thought that I put one back in there, but I guess I didn't. I'm gonna smack this biker real fast. There we go. It never gets easier. Really, by now, it still hasn't gotten easier to just murder zombies haphazardly, because I feel like it would really get easier by this point. You'd just be like, they're not even like real things anymore. Now, what becomes very, very disturbing, for example, a leaky mail? Oh my god. If you receive leaky mail, you may want to talk to your courier service about perhaps insulating, or the guy that just shipped it to you. There's a firefighter? I've never seen a firefighter before. Huh. This is actually a pretty large map. They've used the church model again. But seeing as I'm a little bit desperate for parts, loot him real fast. But anyways, what gets really unnerving is like in Dying Light, where the zombies start being like, no, when you kill them and shit, where you're just like, no, there's somebody still trapped in there. Oh my god. So at this point, is it still ethical to kill them? It's almost like they're afflicted with some kind of paralysis at this point, right? I feel like it would be equally unethical to kill... I mean, if they're trapped inside this ridiculous rabid body and they don't want to actually do the actions that are taking place, it's just the motorized instinct centers of their brain doing it, like that little lizard reptilian area, then... Oh, wow. This seems like it could get out of like hand really, really quick. There's a gun store, though. Let's take this real slow. Yeah, because we got a lot of zombies and they all have overlapping view lines. We should have brought firecrackers. If we brought firecrackers, we could draw them all to one location. We could just have one big battle against them. Every time I hear like multiple B letters, it always reminds me of Quest for Glory 4 with John Rhys Davies being like, "In a bitter battle, you were better than the batters." That was like one of the best lines ever. In a bitter battle, you were better than the batters. I always enjoyed that. Okay, so here they come. We made a little bit of noise. Have everybody fall back slightly. Kind of take up a defensive position, and we'll get this combat started off. I don't know if we'll finish it in this episode, but we're definitely going to start it off. Alright. So I think we've made enough noise at this point to where we're probably going to have a pretty large zombie problem limping towards us. However, because we're behind the building, I think we're going to be alright. Oh wow, that one's got a different gait. That one drags a foot. Okay. I always remember when I'm a big fan of zombie movies, and in fact, every time I get like a new Romero film, I watch the behind the scenes stuff, and Romero said it's the hardest thing ever to direct people that are playing zombies, because he said what will inevitably happen is one person will start dragging a foot, and then everybody will be like, "Oh, that's pretty good, and so everybody will start dragging a foot. The weirdest thing just happened. My mic just turned itself off mid-episode, so I had to make that little cut there while I finished it. I looked over at my computer. The good thing is I would have never noticed it if I didn't have my dual screen set up like I do now, so I'm glad that the dual screen setup allows me to catch errors like that before they accumulate and become like a big problem. But anyways, I'm going to break the episode off right here and kind of investigate and make sure this isn't going to become like a recurring problem. We're at about the 27-minute mark anyway, so I will see you all in the next episode. We will finish this combat right here. Take care, everybody. Hi-do. That was a weird staccato punctuation.